Hey, what's up? It's Marshall Fike, and this is going to be a one in our, I guess, the suicide case. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start here in about 5 seconds or so. All right. So first, judge, for a quick roadmap for my rebuttal, I'm going to be going over I'm going to be going over topicality, or all my attacks. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Okay, ready? Okay, so judge, for a quick roadmap, I'm gonna be going over all the arguments that I have made in the round. So we're going to be going over T on substantially, justification attack, teacher burnout DA, and status quo counterplan, and then we'll be doing some impact calc at the end. So first, for topicality on substantially. So basically what they said to this is that substantially means of great value. But this is debate, judge. And with our education standard, we see that we need to follow the resolution, and you can't just make up your own definition for substantially. You actually have to use sources from dictionaries, and you have to have numbers because that's what needs to fit the resolution. Important is a relative term. So if you use important, you can apply that to any case. But substantial needs to be in relation to the funding and or regulation of United States education. And they're just talking about numbers of people committing suicide. And big has to be applied to the resolution and not in any way they want it to. That hurts the education of the round. So next to the justification attack, they basically said that they're going to save kids' lives, so it won't matter if it's constitutional or unconstitutional. But we're saying that the government can't do anything, or they can do anything to prevent suicide, just not through education. They need to let the states worry about this, not necessarily because it's a state issue, but because states have control over education, and that should be they should pay attention to the suicide rates in their own states and therefore do something about that. And it's not the federal government's role to get in the lives of kids who are depressed, but rather they could do it through other programs, just not through education because that's not their role. So next to the teacher burnout DA, basically they said that teachers want it and they like the program, but we've caught the AF team in a double bind here. They say that teachers like it, but at the same time, in their plan, their adherency is that schools aren't teaching kids the coping skills. So how do we know? Obviously, since teachers aren't already teaching it in schools, then how do we know that teachers are going to like this program? Exactly, we don't. So we've caught the AF in a double bind here, so they need to choose whether teachers like it and it's not being done right, or teachers like it and it's not, and it's already being done, or it is not being taught and teachers don't want it. You have no evidence that teachers do want it. So next to the status quo counterplan, basically they said to this that suicides are increasing, so the status quo is not at all solving. But we have a big point here is that if we implement this program, it's going to make other kids conscious about who is depressed, who wants to commit suicide, and that's just going to further increase bullying. As we have seen, kids who are depressed are often bullied, even if they know that they're going to kill themselves. That's just the way teenagers work. Some teenagers are cruel, and they're just going to be bullied further if we bring out this information inside of school and let the whole school know who is depressed and who wants to kill themselves. And that's just going to completely wipe out their entire case. So that's my answer for that, and I'm going to do I'm going to wrap up real quick. So T on substantially, they have to be relative to the resolution, so they don't win on that with the education standard. Justification, government can prevent suicides in other ways. The teacher burnout DA, we caught him in a double bind with inherency. how they're not teaching it, but teachers also like it. They need to pick one or the other. And then finally, the status quo counter plan is just going to increase bullying. So I'm going to do some quick impact calc. So with the bullying answer, essentially, they're going to internally short circuit. So their impacts are actually going to be completely depleted because they're killing their own case with their case by increasing bullying and therefore increasing more suicides. So that's how we win on the on magnitude impact calc, and then also on timing. Their impacts are going to be delayed because they need to train these teachers, and they haven't proved that they're going to be able to train these teachers in a reasonable amount of time. So that's why we went on time frame. And with the little time I have left, and thank you for your time, and vote Nate.